Nope.
action. Yeah, that always happens. But anyways, what's up, everyone? It's Remigio Hernandez, and here with my boy Eric. And I think Walter may not join us. I think he's still moving. Not too sure. But we hope he returns next week. Miss him.
Dearly. So welcome to the Alchemy Brothers.
Alchemy Brothers.
We have 3 chapters that we're going to have to look over today.
Starts at page 61 all the way to almost 100 pages. Because it goes to page 61 to 153 or 4. 153. Damn. Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, we've been hitting up this book lately. We started it 3 weeks ago. Wow, no, yeah. Well, 4 weeks ago. Almost a month ago, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I mean, because we didn't cover it last week. And then we didn't do the podcast 2 weeks after that one. And then chapter 2 was the 3rd week from today.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Oh, it's been a fun book. I've enjoyed it. And I was actually mentioning to my cousin that I've been wanting to start something like this. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm reading a book with my friends and kind of just going through it. And it's pretty cool and this and that. He's like, you got a book club? I was like, yeah, bro. I mean, I've always wanted to have a book club. You just, no one ever wants to do it. So, I mean, we just decided to do it.
I thought it was a fun concept, dude? Like, I don't know, especially with books like this that kind of like help you kind of like focus on things and better your life. Mm-hmm. It's always good to like have somebody else's view of it, like sometimes you see something else that someone else doesn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really helpful.
Yeah, like I was reading this book, and I don't know if you saw my my Snapchat, but I decided to, because I'm left-handed, so I decided to draw with my right hand.
That's cool.
Yeah, just because this whole book is like, well, kind of to break the habit of it, and it was the same picture that I drew, like of my self-portrait. I'm always showing this book.
Honestly, it was a while ago before we started the whole podcast. I actually started like writing in my left hand because I'm right-handed, and I would actually go out and play pool with my left hand. I actually would just for the fun of it, because I've always thought there's like, like it'd be cool to be able to use both my hands, in any situation. Let's say if I break my right hand and I could use my left like nothing.
All right, so this is the picture of my left hand, right? This one's kind of funnier. That's my right hand.
Yeah, it's still good.
But look at the handwriting. It's all sloppy. It might be like backwards because of how it's. But yeah. One thing's for sure. I could draw better than I could write with my right hand.
Honestly, it looks identical.
Yeah.
It just needs there's a little bit of detail not there because you're not I guess.
I don't know how to do it.
Like your hand doesn't put enough pressure on there, I guess, to put
my
the
hand,
detail in.
my wrist was hurting, dude. I was holding the pencil so tight. I just didn't know how to hold. I was like, how the hell do right-handed people do this? Like, it's like it's not normal.
It's funny because it feels weird when you're doing it too.
I ever try to brush my teeth with my right hand? Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it, man. Shit.
It's easy. It's like you using your left.
Yeah, no.
It's natural.
Which comes to our book, chapter 3. That's where we should have started off again last week.
Yeah.
This one I like this chapter. This chapter was pretty cool because he like how he's talking about what was his name? Tim? Is it Tim? Tony
Tony,
Dunn. He was a football coach.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It's cool though, cause like he like legit tried to be the head coach for like other teams as well too, but they didn't give it to him because of his concept.
Yeah, the way he was trying to go about it, he wanted to create new habits, or right? I said rather than change habits, you must keep old cues and deliver old rewards, but insert a new routine, and that's what his goal was to go about to like change the whole way how they look and how they focus on the game. I thought that was cool. I was like trying to figure out how I like could apply that into my life.
Yeah. Did you find anything?
Like how I could apply it to my life?
Yeah. Or at least like changing a few things out, like but still using your old cues.
Not really. I mean,
Oh, you did. Your left hand or your right hand, I should say.
my right hand. I guess, yeah.
In a way, like you write with your left hand, right? But you're trying to go with your right. And at the same time, you kind of have to like go back and remember how you do it with your left, and then go switch to your right.
Yeah.
To try to mimic it.
There's times where I'll be like drawing, and without even thinking, my hand's just like I'm drawing with my right hand, and then without thinking, it just goes like that, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's just like I don't know. It felt like so natural. My hand, like I'm just like so focused, and it's just like I'm like, oh nope.
Your hand's like let me get this.
Yeah. So let me help you out there, buddy. Oh man. But yeah, this chapter for me, I don't know, it was kind of cool. I liked it. I like football, so I think that's what pulled me in.
For me, it was just the fact that, well, I like football too, but like I don't know, I'm not that much into it as much as I used to. Just due to the fact that like I rather focus on certain things than distract myself with something else.
Yeah, no, I hear
Kind
you.
of like video game, like I feel like it's the same thing. Like it pulls a lot of your time out, so I kind of stop focusing on it because for me, like since I was little, I've always, and I don't know, I just chose the Buccaneers because I've always been a fan of like pirates and stuff. So I just kind of went into that one, and I've always wanted to go to Florida. Something about Florida when I was younger, I really liked.
So that chapter really, like, you really.
It was cool to read about it, like how their old history, and then knowing like this dude was in there and helped them out to get better.
To get better, but when they got important, when they got to like those important games, they would choke.
And they still do.
and I think I noticed that like a couple things like like I was playing Tetris one time. Yeah, I love that game. It's fun.
Just like the song is like playing in my head right now.
There's a Tetris game for PlayStation. It's called Tetris Effect, and it's just like you will like it, dude. You would like it because like it's like DJ music, but
That's
like
cool.
you go like you move the block and it goes with the beat. So
that's cool.
So you kind of like creating your own music in a way, but I would notice that I would be doing so good in that game, and then I was still kind of like I was going through some stuff, right? So I would like be focusing on the game, and then before I know it, I like catch my mind going to those things that were bothering me, and like in the game I would mess up. I would just really like I don't know, like it would be like a simple block coming in, and it would be like the easiest like thing to adjust in it, but I would mess up because like my thought wasn't like my focus wasn't in the game, but it was in the head. So
they're focusing on something else.
So when they were talking about the choking in the game, like they're like in the, like almost going to what is it called?
The
The
Super Bowl.
the Super Bowl. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's like what was happening to me because they just in a way compared video game to Super Bowl, but
It's funny because cause one of my friends is a Saints fan, and they're in the same division, and they just played last week, and they got fucking killed. The Bucks. It was like I can't really remember. It was like 30 something to 3, and then they got murdered, and I was like, "Ah, dude!" Like I was like, I'm pretty sure because every time they play them, I guess like they still have that past like memories of them always like kind of not doing well
yeah,
because
oh
honest.
yeah,
So I feel like they fucking choked because of that reason because they
they think
like
about
they were just overthinking things because that's like one of the things that the uh the book was saying is like they would do good without even like reacting, but as soon as everything started getting hard and they started thinking, that's when they started fucking up
yeah,
or messing up.
yeah. No, I hear you. No, yeah, for sure. And then I thought it was kind of bogus how they fired him. They fired Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, like, can you
Well,
blame? Can he really be to blame though? I mean, like, I really don't.
nah. It's just how like the NFL works with like the owners owning. Like as soon as like they're like, well, you didn't, we were so close, and it's your fault. Like
Yeah.
just blame the person. But one of the things I really did like about this part of this chapter was the fact that it was trying to put in your head that believing is the key to changing your habits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the things that I wrote here is like believing is the key.
Actually, true. I didn't even think of that, but that's true. Hold on.
And it says like, oh, I even put it right here. It's like on page 64. It says if his players think too much or hesitate or second guess their instincts, the system falls apart. Believing is key.
At page 64.
Yeah. I don't know exactly why. I just put it on my notes. Oh, here it is. Yeah.
What paragraph?
It's like kind of towards the end, kind of towards the end where it says, but only when it works. It's like the last paragraph and then the paragraph ending on top of it. Is
Oh,
it?
okay.
It's right here. Like it's on top of the paragraph that starts with this time, however, as a Bucks line up. On top of that, that's where I
Yes.
and then I wrote it myself. Like believing is the key
Believing
of.
kid. It's true though. I mean, cause then they talk about Tony's son passing away.
Oh, yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, that was.
It sucks too because like we were just talking about the whole situation with suicide.
Yeah, and then.
Ended up taking his life. Well, I think that's like a little further more in
Oh,
the
that's it.
chapter. That's one thing. Like it kind of like it doesn't bug me, but sometimes I'm like kind of like it does bug me. Is like they tell you one story and then they throw you another story and then they go back again to the story to
But I
like the
mean,
same story that they passed.
but they do that. I noticed. Yeah, I noticed they do that. But they do it because it has a similarity to the second part of the first story.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like I could see why it would bug you. Like, who the hell is this person now? But then you're like, I don't know. It like works
well,
out itself, and you're like, oh.
yeah, it does. Because honestly, like the well, I don't know how like they kind of like break it down, but the second part of this third chapter with uh, Billy Wilson. Billy Wilson. That one is a good
Oh,
story. Like
oh
he's
yeah.
an alcoholic, and
And
then
he gets in a car accident.
yeah.
Or
Oh
what
no,
he
that's not the one. I think that was the fourth chapter, wasn't it?
no, it's this one where he goes to like the AAA meetings and then
Oh yeah, yeah.
he,
Okay.
he yeah I jumped ahead, but yeah, he gets in, like they hit his side where he was gonna go for his kid at school, and
That's when he finally figured out, like, you know what, I need help.
I'm
That could have
fucking
been my
up.
son there. Yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
But it's cool because like it's funny how like they describe it too, how like he finds out like how he falls in love with drinking, and it says right here like he sipped and felt that he started as if he found the elixir of life.
Oh yeah,
I kind of like I kind of like highlighted that because like I don't know, like I became a real big alcoholic after like one of my first relationships like really like it
when
really hit me.
hmm
So like I started, I don't know, I just started partying, drinking to forget, then just drinking, and it just gives you that feeling of like fun, but at the same time you really don't see how much damage it's doing to your life.
yeah, no, it feels like I can see it because it feels good and you feel like you're having a blast, but like deep, it's just like what the fuck am I doing right now? Like why am I doing this? Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember. I think I mentioned it, like not that, like around the first podcast or something, or maybe it was just like our conversation, the one that you and
the
I had.
first one.
Yeah. But there was one time where I told my cousin I just wanted to get wasted. You know, I just wanted to drink with him, and and yeah, I went to his house and we were just drinking and drinking, but I was not getting drunk at all. Like, and I kid you not, like I was not drunk at all. Like I was not gonna drive either way because I was drinking a lot, but I was perfectly fine. And it
Yeah,
sucked. It sucks because, and then I was like thinking, I was like, well, maybe I already hit like rock bottom, and this is just like the bottom of rock bottom. But yeah, I was trying to just like drown my sorrows or something, and I just couldn't. And I was just like, what the,
like the sour was too much for it
yeah,
to even like
get drowned.
fade. Yeah.
Yeah. So that night sucked. I just woke up really dehydrated. Like,
Uh,
yeah, I wasn't drunk or like hangover. I was just dehydrated as hell.
but
Yeah.
I do like how like they kind of in the book they kind of like throw in the how he meets one of his old war friends and invites him in and gives him a drink, and then the friend's like, "Oh no, I don't want to drink." Cause like
Oh,
I've been
because
sober for like 2 months,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
Then
like it's, go
kind of
ahead.
just. Oh, I was just gonna say that they kind of just kind of start talking about it. His friend says, "Well, that he got into religion." Yeah.
That he found God.
Okay, so I was talking to my uncle yesterday, kind of about the same things about like all this, and he was saying because he's the same way. He says he doesn't believe in religion, and he doesn't know if he believes in a higher power. But when people go out looking for themselves, I mean, they find something greater than themselves, right? I mean, like I know I
Yeah.
did. I know you have.
There was this. I fucking where did I do my phone? There was this meme that I found. Well, not really a meme, but one of those just spiritual memes that we send each other. Not sure if I sent it or not, but it was kind of similar like what you just said right now. It's like when it's like when I was looking for God, I didn't find anything but myself. But when
Mm-hmm.
I found myself, I found God.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it really like touched me because I was just like, damn, dude, like I actually went through that. Like there was a point that I was just like so fed up and heartbroken. The fact that I just couldn't find God, you know, like I was trying to look for him and I couldn't find it. And then finally, like I was just like, I was gonna give up. and then he found me.
Mm-hmm.
And then by finding me, I found myself and bettered myself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't know, I'm a kind of person that I really don't label myself with something or a religion, a
Yeah.
specific religion, because that's another way of kind of like contributing into an ego.
Yeah. I can see that. I agree with that.
But I
I
do believe there is a higher power, and it's just isn't a person or a thing.
so my uncle, he said, he was like, because we were talking about this. We talked like for an hour, maybe even two, but he was like, if there is a higher being, that higher being wants you to be better than him, kind of like your parents want you to be better than them. I was like, okay. He's like, but you're respecting, like, you're gonna be better than your parents, but you're still gonna respect your parents as your parents. So you're gonna listen to what your parents tell you to do, even if you're better than them. He's like, but is it? He's like, so that's the same thing too. If there is a God, then that will make you a God, and you got to become a better God than God. But at the same time, you're respecting God.
Mm.
You're not gonna say you're better than him just because you are. Like, you know, he wants you to be better than him, but at the same time, you're just gonna put that form of respect and that form of whatever he tells me to do, I'm gonna do, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
totally agree on that.
that's, yeah. I like how he broke that down for me. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, so I could live by that.
Yeah, because essentially it's true. Like you want to be as good as God, you know,
hmm
but at the same time, like you can't surpass that because then that's like feeding into your ego, like, and then you go back down again, like.
Yeah, yeah,
But I do like the fact like the Bill Wilson, he was given a drug called belladonna to treat his alcoholism, and that's what kind of like gave him the willpower to change his
mm,
habit. Was that drug because it made him hallucinate?
yeah.
See, kids, drugs are okay.
Oregon, going to Oregon.
Seriously. Hey, California's gonna be trying to pass that law as well too pretty soon. I think probably sometime next year.
Oh yeah, they mentioned it.
Yeah,
It's in the air.
yeah. They said that they might be trying to decriminalize all psychedelics.
That's good. I mean, yeah, Oregon's the future. I mean, the way what they're doing is not, you're not criminalizing, you're decriminalizing it, but it's still illegal to consume.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that. That's what they're doing.
yeah. Because there's other places too that has done that already too as well. Like they decriminalized the drugs, so there's not that many people going into jail for those things, but you still can get a fine for
hmm
having those things.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
smart.
also that you're giving the doctors as well, like you can make clinics to help out people that actually have addictions, and then, with other stuff like opium, with
Yeah,
so it kind of like in a way it's like killing a bird or killing two birds with one stone.
no,
But I do like how I like how he describes the withdrawal.
didn't they like tie him down? They had to tie him down or something, right?
Well, they put him in a room,
And he
like
said he feels like insects were crawling all over his skin, and
yeah. And they said like the part when he was like for sure like done with the pain, he actually like screams out like, if there is a God, let him let him show himself. And then he also said to God that he was ready to do anything at that moment.
Yeah.
And then he also writes that he saw a white light.
That was beautiful. Oh man.
I thought that was pretty crazy because I kind of somewhat similarly had something like that. Only I didn't see a light, and I wasn't on any kind of. Well, I was smoking, but I wasn't on like hallucinant or anything. But I felt the presence of God at one point in my life, and that really like just completely changed me.
That's what I was like. I've been thinking about. I was like, what was I going through that I like experienced that like in Mexico, like that I saw him. I was like, well, like I know I felt like shitty about myself, but I don't know like what I was feeling like or like going through really. Well, I know what I was going through, but like I don't know that day, like what was I going through or what was I thinking that led me to that point? It was a great
Well,
experience. I mean, it
that
was
was
fun.
after like the breakup, right?
We're still together.
Okay,
Uh,
that's interesting.
yeah, but I think I was already. I was like in a bad place. I mean, like I said, I was like abusing marijuana. I was just yeah bad. Yeah, so like I think about that when I was reading that one too. I was like, when he says, "Let God show Himself," I was like, man, like, what was I going through? Like,
For him to show himself like that.
yeah, He just blessed me, bro. He just went like, "Blessed child." I was like, thanks.
He's like, I've always been here.
Inventory of yourselves.
The cool part is that he, as the Wilson, he's the one that actually was the founder of the AA.
Alcoholics
Like,
Anonymous.
yeah. So I thought that was pretty crazy. Like, he actually like got so changed that he wanted to change other people
Yeah,
with the same struggle that
that
he was
he was
going
going
through.
through. It
And
was
then
really cool.
he was also blessed because like he was able to found that program and then start his own like what was it
What like I like how he's able to like for the AA they don't use like medication or anything. It's just them just meeting up and just talking. Well, like basically you and I just meeting up and just talking almost every week, and that it seems to be very effective to people. And that's the thing, like too, like that's just like showing like how strong the mind is. Like if there's like enough positive forces around you, then your outcome for life is gonna be nothing but positivity. That's what I was getting out of all that.
yeah, like it helps you out when you're talking about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and your own problems. And I think that really helps out a lot with like anything you're going through, like always talk to someone, try to, know what they're going through and how you could try to help them
Yeah,
or steer them the right direction.
I've been doing Lyft on the side just for the fun of it, just to get out of the house since I'm always here, and I think I've been mentioning it for some time. But yeah, I just
Yeah,
started. I just oh shit, that scared me.
sorry.
But yeah, I just started last week, and for example, today and Friday, I had just two people who were riding with me, bro, and they're just spilling all this drama, like not drama, but everything they're going through in life. And I'm just like listening. I'm like, oh, bro. And that's sometimes what people need to is, like just tell a stranger everything they're going through,
To
because
kind of vent.
yeah, and they're never gonna see me again. Probably, there's a small possibility that they might, but like, what are the chances that they'll remember me? But even then, like, these people, they were just telling me that what they're going through and all this stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not the wisest person, but I was giving them the advice of what I've gone through and my experiences, and I was like, oh, I went through this, and this is what I was doing. I mean, and I was like, just the whole thing you have to do is just try to remain positive. It's really hard, but it's really worth it at the end. And if you could like overcome everything you're going through right now, like you're gonna be thinking like 2 years from now, like, why was I even worried about that?
Yeah.
But honestly, that's how it really is. And then these people are just listening to me, and I'm listening to them, whatever they're telling me, and then just I don't know. I like it, It's fun.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty cool because like you said, you get to meet these people, and you kind of like help them out as well too. Like you help them vent,
Yeah. And
and they have. Go ahead.
my music there. Like I play music, but it's like hip hop beats, kind of like low hip hop, like low frequency hip
Oh,
hop beats.
lo-fi.
Lo-fi, yeah, lo-fi. That's what it stands for. Low frequency. Holy shit. And, yeah, no. But yeah, I play lo-fi hip hop beats, and for the most part, they're chilling and like just listening to music, and it just relaxes them too. Like, so.
It's honestly, I love listening to that while I'm reading. Like
Mm-hmm.
lo-fi, like I listen to like it's a specific channel. I can't really remember, but it has some good stuff. Like they have like lo-fi study lo-fi. Like they have one too called like um 3 a.m. lo-fi.
Oh, I think yeah,
Like just stuff like to kind of like whatever you're doing,
yeah. I
just chill you out.
I listen to it sometimes when I'm working. I put it on and just have that going. It's nice. So that's what I'd be listening to when I'm driving. It's a 3-hour playlist, so once the 3 hours are up, like on my playlist, that's when I turn off my lips and I go
That's
home. But yeah, I mean, basically, I feel like I hope I'm changing these people's lives. Hopefully they'll apply this what I'm telling them in their lives.
I'm sure, like in a way, you're planting a seed, and eventually that seed will be watered and grow into like a nice plant within themselves to bring positivity.
I hope so.
But at the same time, that's all you can do is just give them the advice. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't really do much.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
And
It's kind of just skimming through the chapter here, chapter 3.
I really like this chapter of the habits of like alcoholism, because like how like they really try to show you how to pinpoint the behavior of it, and then give you in a way the information how to control it.
Oh, like this one, this page right here. With
Yeah,
the diagram.
that's the.
Where like they'll hit like a cigarette and they're like, I'm gonna drink something right now.
Yeah, like instead of going for a cigarette, you I don't know, like you go walk around your building, or you go to the Apple.
Get an apple and just eat it instead of that. Yeah.
And then nail biting. Yeah, that one's a pretty good one too.
Was this in this chapter too?
Yeah, that was like after they talked about Wilson. They talked about the girl named Andy.
Oh, they do.
Like, dude, that's the reason why I'm telling you. Like sometimes it pisses me off that they do that. They like switch it up, but at the same time they do give you some cool ass information.
Yeah. So we had 3 people in this chapter: Manny, Tony, and Ben Wilson.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, dude, I don't even know. I was actually reading this one too because I used to bite my nails all the time in high school and stuff. And then one day I just kind of got sick of it. I don't know. I was grossed out by myself. I don't know how I changed my habits with it because he was talking about how she changes her habits on it. And then I was like, man, how did I change my habit? Like, because I just used to go town, bro. I'd be in class, just, it was gross, dude. I know people were probably looking at me like,
Look at that guy.
this is just like, oh.
Finding them like if they were a corn in a cob.
Basically, bro. Yeah, and then I don't know, like just one day out of nowhere, I caught myself doing it, and I just stopped, and I think I put like my hand in my pocket. I don't remember. It was like sophomore year, junior year. But gross.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool how they like helped her out. It was like the University of Mississippi.
Didn't they tell her to write stuff down?
Yeah, they gave her a notebook, telling her to write down each time she started biting and what she was doing at that time.
Or what triggers it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So see that just goes to show you that writing does like magical things, bro. Because even in chapter 5, they're talking about it.
I was like, honestly, I actually started writing things in how, like, well, I did it like one time. It's not that easy. Like, it even says in the book, like, at first it's hard.
It's annoying.
It's something
and
you just kind of have to get, because honestly, I haven't done it in like 3 days. But what I do is I write down a couple of like, not objects, but like a couple of things that I'm going to do in the morning. So I like get up, write down your dreams if I have any, or if I could remember any. I don't know, because I don't know. I feel like I don't dream at all. People say like you do dream, you just don't remember it. I honestly don't feel like I dream at all.
You've always said that, yeah.
I just sleep and then wake up.
Yeah,
there's no in between. It's just like me turning off and then turning back on when I wake up.
You always said that to me. I was like, bro, everyone dreams, though. Yeah, no, I don't dream.
Everybody always tells me like, yeah, you just dream, you just don't remember. It's like, dude, I wake up and I'm like, okay, time for my day, let's go. Like, sometimes I do dream. It's rare for me, like, for me to actually like dream, like wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I had a dream.
I remember you told me one about you're in space or something, or Pluto or a planet. I don't remember you telling me about it.
I had a lot of weird ones. Like, I remember this one, and it was like really weird. It was like in my high school. We were listening, and it's like random as shit too. Like, I'm in my high school in my bleachers, and it's a metal show. There's people down in the fields as well, where the stage is at. We just have a higher seating, I guess. And it was like a friend of mine from high school, my cousin, which he never went to the high school that I went to. And so we were just like, like listening to music, and all of a sudden this monster truck comes out of nowhere, starts running people over.
Oh, shit.
And the things that the dreams, whenever I have dreams, they're very vivid. And I could legit see like people getting run over, their heads popping, like arms coming off. There's blood everywhere. And all of a sudden the car just stops. I guess they could run out of gas or something. And then the principal that was at the time, and when I was in high school, comes out of nowhere, opens the door, pulls the dude out of the truck, and then rips his head off. And then I woke up and I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And
That's a movie right there, bro.
Yeah, it was weird as shit, dude. It didn't make any sense, but the things that like sometimes they're just like, they're vivid that way. But at times that I'm telling you, like, I don't know, I feel like I don't dream. I wonder if I can go to a doctor's and see if that's even true. They're like, ha, told you, motherfuckers. I don't dream.
So, wow, Eric, you actually one of a kind. You don't dream.
It's so weird. We need to study. Let me put this up your ass. Oh, no, no. I do dream.
Shut up.
But yeah, that's one of the things I'm like, trying to get myself into. That's writing down things, like wake up, do my bed, do a little exercise, meditate, think about something while meditating that'll help you out more in the future. Like kind of like I think it was chapter 4, but that talked about Phelps.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that chapter is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of like picture myself in the future and try to picture myself into the future so it like helps me motivate myself to do
And
the stuff that I want.
picture yourself in the future so that it helps you whenever you're in the present moment when you're struggling.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to imply that into my meditation now. So I think about like my future self with future things that I don't have now, so it could help me motivate me to start working hard on things to get myself into that dream
Okay. Yeah.
or state. So that's one of the things that I've been doing that this book has implied. I'm trying to imply myself
Yeah.
in my life.
I hear you now
So
on that one.
I honestly really love this book.
This book, yeah. I don't know this, because I tell you, bro, I feel like it's teaching me how to run a business in a way. You just want to skip to chapter 4? We're
Yeah.
talking about Phelps. Because right here in even with the Okola, the aluminum company,
Oh
O'Neill,
yeah.
how his main goal was safety, you know, safety guidelines and everything, and like every people in the stock market were like, "What the hell?" So they sold their stock to it, but Cola became like one of the highest aluminum companies. Um, like that right there just shows like an amazing, like, I guess you could say, leader, because I mean his focus was safety, and then this one guy at their job ends up getting killed, and he spends like hours and hours and hours with all these people and in the conference room, like researching, like, why did that happen? Why did it happen? You know, like what could have been, done differently to avoid that from happening.
It's funny too, because like even like the workers are like, dude, I hate working with this guy because he keeps just like as soon as we answer a question, he throws another question within that
Dig
question. It's like,
deeper.
yeah, that's one of the things that I really like kind of stood out for me about like how like he's really uh what's the word I'm looking for? Really like repetitive on the things that he wants to do.
Hmm.
And
But
for him it's safety, of course.
safety. But when he was in the like working in the Pentagon, how he
Oh,
was
the
work,
federal.
yeah, and how his job was to like figure out why so many babies were like passing away after being born, like 1 or 2 years old. He kind of pinpoints that one to teachers not being trained, or not teachers not learning enough about, what was it, nutritions or
Yeah,
nutrients.
nutrition while they're in labor.
Yeah, while they're in labor, but the teachers, like, they don't learn enough in school to like apply that to the students' lives, so that when the student does get pregnant, I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I just like this whole chapter here because it's kind of like the way it right here where I wrote down here. It's like he couldn't, like he knew like off the bat that he couldn't just come in, like changing workers'
Hmm.
habits. So he needed to put a new habit in to trade the old habits.
And how he made it really easy for everyone to, like, just like average workers, be able to climb up the ladder to pass them like information. That's good.
Yeah,
That's smart. Yeah. Huh. And yeah, that's definitely, that shows you good leadership skill. That's what I got out of him.
yeah. Like he really like cared, and that's one of the things too in the book. It says like he would stay up night, like not even knowing the workers, like how if like worrying about if they're safe. you know.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I like how people like who started learning the safety and who started really taking to heart at their job, like how they wouldn't even be working, and then they would like see some like not someone but like construction workers not following safety rules, and like, hey, you guys shouldn't be doing that.
It's funny too because he's like, dude, you guys should be wearing like a safety belt,
Our
like
supervisor
doing this.
forgot
I'm
it.
like, whoa, a supervisor forgot about it.
Called OSHA. But that's smart though. Like he saw something could have happened, and something probably would have happened. Bro, I was like thinking about that when he like. I was like, man, what if like they did fall off that bridge? You know, they're like this guy's holding him with the freaking hand basically, and no straps. Like how strong can someone's grip really be?
I'm pretty sure by time it's like, you know, it starts fading. Like you can't
Yeah,
like, okay, man, you got to switch now. My hand's dying.
yeah. So I mean, you never know. But the whole mental visualization of Michael Phelps, that's what you're talking about right now. Like you're
Yeah,
trying to picture yourself into your future self.
yeah, because
Ah,
like the one thing that really like kind of stood out for me on that chapter was the fact that uh Phelps in like the middle of like I think it was the Olympics,
Olympics.
like
Yeah.
his goggles started fogging and he wasn't able to see, and they said that like that's one of the number one things that like the worst thing that could happen in a race is your goggles fogging. And he was like, yeah, well, my coach actually trained me with the lights off so I could know how to work with when I can't see. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was cool, dude, and not just like they trained him with that, but then he also stated that he even like him visualizing his perfect race, he would picture sometimes like the goggles filled up with water or something. So how they stated it was like the videotapes. So he Phelps had like a variety of videotapes with different scenarios, but each scenario, each race was the perfect race, but each tape was different with the different different thing.
Situations.
Yeah. So like he could have jumped off the starting blocks differently, which would have made him jump, I don't know, at a diagonal in the water. But even then, he would have come back up, and it would still have been the perfect race. So I think that's like really cool. And I like right now that I stated that he has different tapes. That's true. I think we have to, like if we want an outcome in our life or a goal in our life, we need to like create the goal, but in between we have to put our different tapes. You know, so it's pretty cool. And then when he's swimming, the coach yells at him to put in the videotape.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's something that I'm trying to do with that's kind of what I'm trying to imply in my life is something that I've learned from that this chapter was about implying different scenarios and different outcomes in my life where
Mm-hmm.
they're nowhere near, you know, like in my life right now to try to get into that. Because I kind of like saw the fact that they were doing that. It's like he pictures himself, and by doing that, it just becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not even him thinking that, you know, like the perfect race. He already knows it is the perfect race.
Yeah,
And that's one of the reasons why he's one of the ones holding a lot of medals.
Olympic medals. He's put in so many tapes. And even like the small wins. Where were they stating? How did that one come into play? Small wins, because they kind of explained it with Michael Phelps. I think that kind of just goes back with him putting in the videotapes.
What page is that?
112. Right under the three dots, it says small wins. But then
Oh,
above it's like they start talking about small wins.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I highlighted right here. It says one small wins has been accomplished. Force are set in motion that favors another small wins.
Mhm.
So like a little small wins fuels more of your ability to do more things.
Bro, and honestly, it does because like I think I've mentioned it too. I always make my bed in the morning,
Mm.
and then that just gets the ball running for my days. And
You already accomplished one thing.
I never really ever understood it, like, because I remember watching the Marine talk about it. I think he was a Marine about the always make your bed every morning, and I never really understood that. I was like, why would I want to know? But now I feel it. Like it feels good when like I make my bed. I'm like, man, I'll come back to you.
I'll come back to you and have some good sleep.
I'm
Maybe
on.
I'll even dream.
So I'm gonna dress you. Oof.
I'm gonna get inside you.
Basically. But yeah, I put daily routines. I wrote it here. Daily routines equal small wins. So for example, when Michael Phelps was like warming up and doing all this stuff, you know, it's his routine for his races, and those routines never ever changed. And so it's like everything's just going according to plan. So it's a small win. Like he stretches this many times, you know, he does this many times, and like,
Listens to the same tapes.
yeah, it's a small
Or
win.
not tapes, but same musics.
Yeah.
I was in Beijing.
Yeah. 2028, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those Olympics.
Yeah, we were watching it in high school.
Usain Bolt, the lightning bolt. Man.
I even highlighted like kind of like the end of the chapters 115. It says like kind of underneath where the little dots are at. It says it felt like I imagined it would be.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Phelps said it was one additional victory in a lifetime full of small wins.
And it's really what it is, dude.
Life is all about small wins.
Yeah, this book's changing my life for real. People, you guys gotta read this book. All right, I don't even know like if we could like really like. I don't even
It's so
think
much things.
we're not doing this book justice.
Like literally, like read the book to understand what we're talking about because it's so much information in here.
Oh,
Kind of hard to put it into like an hour or two. Especially we have like 3 chapters we had to talk about. You want to go into chapter 5?
yeah, I'm down with that one. Travis Leach. This guy was a high school dropout. His parents were drug addicts, and
His mom went to prison.
his mom was in jail. His dad was an amazing cook, but was always a drug addict. And this guy had, from what I understood, he had like an anger temperature, huh? Temper.
Yeah. Dude, I honestly almost teared up in this fucking chapter. Like I was in my break room, and I'm like, hopefully, does nobody comes in because I'm like trying to hold in my tears. And when it talks about like,
He's like 9 years old and he sees his dad overdose.
no, no, no,
That
no,
bothered me. I was like,
well, it that sucks. Like he saw that, and you would never want to see that, but he didn't. He did overdose, but he didn't die. The part is when his dad finally died, and he
oh
wasn't able
yeah,
to see him and say goodbye.
his
That's
dad
what
an hour
hurt me,
later.
dude.
Yeah,
Cause like the visitations were pretty much like over with, and she's like, just come back tomorrow. And he didn't have the willpower or strength to fight and be like, hey, look, like let me just see my dad like this one time, like. And he just like kind of just like okay, and then just walked away.
yeah. He said he felt small.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, his parents from everything, it sounds like his parents got their life together after he started. Because Travis Leach is the owner of Starbucks, so it sounds like
No, no, he wasn't an owner. He was
oh, he's
he
a
was just
manager.
a simple man, yeah, and
Yeah,
became
he's
a
a man.
manager.
Yeah, he's a manager. My bad.
Because he was a dropout of high school. Then he had certain other jobs. He worked as in a video
McDonald's.
store and the McDonald's,
Hmm.
and he would always end up like he was always late. The fuck?
He yelled people. He yelled at a woman in Starbucks or McDonald's. I was like, yeah, it's McDonald's also. Yeah.
The woman deserved it. It just pretty much it shows how like Starbucks has this program to help their employees to better their lives.
Mhm.
Because as Travis, he had emotional issues. He didn't know how to control his emotions, and he would just lash out sometimes. But I think that's due to the fact that he never had a voice to try to help his parents, and he always wanted like I guess like as a little kid, he always wanted his parents to have a different life, but he just wasn't able to do anything about it.
You always felt little in a way.
Yeah.
That would suck, bro. Who was I watching or we were talking? I was watching something today. I don't know, but uh, maybe it was the book, man. I don't know, because no kid should ever have to see that, dude. And that right there just would mess up a child, dude.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like seeing your own father like just drop because he's like ODing
I
in
couldn't
front of
imagine
you.
that. Couldn't imagine that. Like not even with my mom. Like I can't even imagine that with my parents. Like I don't know. And
That's crazy.
that's why they say there's no such thing as normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Normal is just a thing we think that is normal. There is no such thing as
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. Like
That's like
I may be
one of the
living a rich life compared to someone else. Like, dude, you're so rich. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is whatever. This is normal. Yeah.
yeah, so one of the things that Starbucks they train them, and then even Travis says himself that through the training that Starbucks provided, it changed his life. It taught him how to live his life, how to focus, and how to get to work on time. That he mastered his emotions and critical. It taught him willpower.
Hmm. I highlighted here. Willpower is the single most important key habit for individual success.
I agree on that. And sometimes it's really hard. And that's what I love about this chapter, how it talks about how willpower, at first, they were initially saying it's a skill.
Hmm.
And the thing I love how it kind of describe it is like a skill is like kind of like learning how to cook an omelet. Like there'll be a day like you're hungry and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make myself an omelet. and then you're like, okay, you wake up the next day and it's Friday, and you're like, you know what, I want another omelet, and you do it again. But it's
Mm-hmm.
that's what's considered a skill. It's something you already know you could do whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Willpower is different. There's days that are like, okay, I'm out of work, and I should go jogging. I jog all the time, but I'm just drained because whatever you went through your job, your
Mm-hmm.
job could have broken down and eaten away your willpower, and when you come back home, you're just like, forget this. I can't do it. So they were trying to prove that willpower wasn't a skill. It was more of like a muscle.
A mental muscle. Yeah. Well, because in the when they're in the laboratory, they give radishes to one group of students and then cookies to another group of students, and they tell them basically, um, what did they tell them here? Containing freshly cookies. Everyone was essentially six graduates. Or how they put the radishes and the cookies next to each other, and they told those one group to eat radishes only and another group to eat cookies, and then the people who were eating radishes were like trying to like fight the temptation of like not eating the cookie, and then they told them to do a puzzle, and then when they ever saw like two numbers to hit the space bar, and the people who had the cookie were getting better scores than the ones who didn't have the cookie. That's crazy because like something that like that could drain you mentally, and it's like
It's small. Like it's a
yeah,
small
it's
thing.
small and yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how like they kind of give you the whole information about the studies that they did.
And
And
the
oh, go
same
ahead.
thing for the like the two or not two professors, but the two people who were the researchers, Megan Ot and then Ken Chang, how they like were creating willpower like workouts.
Mm.
Um,
What page is that?
I might be way ahead. I'm 138.
Okay, I
How
had it in
far?
my finger.
Oh,
Okay, it says where the will exercising is willpower muscles make them stronger. The same way using dumbbells strengthening the biceps.
mhm.
I kind of like this because it's kind of like how it tells you that as soon as you're working one thing, like your willpower, uh, and then it could be anything like as going to the gym or making more money. It spills over and helps you with other things that you weren't even initially trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how like it's kind of like trying to tell you like work on your willpower, and as soon as you start strengthening that, it's gonna start spilling over to other things that you weren't even imagining it would
So
help you.
you weren't even thinking of it helping you. It's like you go to the gym more. Not only if you're accumulating more money and you put your willpower like one of the programs they did was like a 4 month money management program where they would tell participants to like to deny themselves like luxuries such as like meals at excuse me at a restaurant or movies, and we're told to like write a a detailed log of all the information, which yeah I could imagine would suck because I suck at writing myself, but
Actually, one of my friends or the one of my sous chefs at work, uh, he is trying to get like I guess a lap band to start losing weight. And one of the things that he told me that the doctors were telling him to do is take pictures of his food, kind of like picture logging his
mm,
food, so he could visualize what he's eating, so it could become into a habit. And it's crazy.
that's
This is before I started reading the book, but it was when the book was describing how they were telling him like to write everything you eat, what time you're eating it. And I was like, holy crap, that was exactly what they were telling him to do, but just
Yeah.
with your phone. Like, like take a picture of your food, and then by that, you're seeing how you're eating, when you're eating, when you ate it,
What you're
and
eating.
kind of
Yeah.
and just pretty much like logging it like that. I was like, oh crap, they were doing that with him.
That's pretty dope.
So I think I'm gonna start trying to do that as well too. The other thing I really liked about this too is like how they were saying that to put your kids into like any sports or piano lessons or any of that stuff, because by doing so you're putting regularity strength. By
And that,
doing that is giving them the idea of being more responsible, I would guess.
yeah. Or the one with the pamphlets, the older folks who had surgery,
About
and
the hip surgery.
yeah, or the hip surgery, and they got a pamphlet that said my goal this week is like a lot of participants. I think like she said like a good amount of participants received a pamphlet, but only a certain amount filled it out, and the ones who did fill it out were like within a week they were already walking. They were all doing this stuff, and the other ones who hadn't filled it out weren't doing much, and that's because they didn't plan. The ones who didn't fill it out didn't plan the pain that they were going to feel in the future. Basically, what you were stating, how you want to see yourself already future and just be prepared for when you have to. Same with these folks. The ones who didn't plan it out didn't have anything planned for when they would feel the pain, but the ones who did wrote it out, they already had everything planned out for what they were going to do when they felt that pain. So that's pretty cool. That's something I want to learn to do too now. But I don't know. Excited.
I would say, yeah. So kind of something, like I said, like the book was stated, and I really wanted to imply that in my life. Just like writing things down, kind of giving yourself a goal to reach, and how it says in chapter 4, like it's the little wins that make the world go round.
They really do. Oh my gosh, man, I'm sleepy.
Well, we're pretty much done here.
Yeah. I mean, now we're caught up with the book, so.
I know it was a little rough, fellas.
You win some, you lose some, you know.
But honestly, like this book has so much information. It's kind of hard to cram it in a 2-hour session.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're trying to find a way to change habits or make yourself a different habit to be more successful, I would recommend reading this book.
Or even to people who don't know how to like meditate or like just like self-improve, I would say this is a good starting book to like if you're really wanting to be in the search of like who you are or what you want to do in life. I think this book would be a good place to start.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, I've been doing, trying to change my life differently for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And some of this book has hit things that I've already known. And then I'm reading a lot of things that I didn't know. And
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like it's going to help me a lot in the future.
I feel like same here. I feel like I've done things in this book that they're recommending. I'm like, holy shit, like I did that without even knowing that. And like now there's also some things that I'm learning that I'm going to start doing too. So it's pretty cool. But I mean overall, I mean I've been feeling like this month's been going really great. I've been really excited for it all. I don't know, dude. And this book is like just I think the books may be the reason a little bit.
Yeah, I would say so, dude, because it has a lot of information and really good information to try to, change and imply better habits in your life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And kind of like the way the chapter 3 with Tony, how he said that, like he doesn't want to change the football players' habits because that's what got them into the NFL. He's just trying to imply something new by still using the old ones to
Mm-hmm.
get in a better future.
Was it change? Leave the old habits, change the routine, leave the old reward, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how
And that's winning the game. And it's kind of like the same thing with ourselves. Yeah, like we want to change a habit, but we don't want to change the whole thing because we've gone this far in your life. And sometimes, like, changing the whole habit itself is what you're trying to do. But let's say, like, you're in a good spot right now in your life and you just want to change a little thing to make your life a little bit better or much better to where you're at. And that's kind of like, it kind of helps you out with that idea. It's like you don't have to change the complete thing. You just got to change one part in the middle to get the reward you're trying to get.
Yeah, for sure. That was nicely said.
So if you're trying to, change the habit or better yourself, I highly recommend this book.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good book.
It's good and it's fun. It's a fun book to read too. I mean, even if you're not trying to do any of that, then it's a very informative book. I recommended it to my cousin. Hopefully he buys it because he's recommended me some really good books too. And I was like, and he's a manager, like a training manager. So I think this one would help him too.
I would say so.
So I don't know. But anything else, Eric? You got?
No, man. I'm pretty much set. I'm set for freaking chapter 6. See what it can
Yeah.
bring, what knowledge it will bring to us.
Hopefully Walter will be here again, done with his move and everything, and could be us three just attacking that chapter together. But we'll be bringing a topic in as well next week. I don't know. We'll think of something. We'll think of something for the topic. But other than that, I mean, I don't got anything else either. I mean, it's been good. I've been doing good, living life, loving it. So just
Same thing with me. Yeah. Been good. Life is still the same, but I'm trying to improve it with the little things I'm learning in this book. And I know eventually I'll get there,
we'll
as long as I'm putting the effort.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
But all right, man. If you don't got anything, I don't got anything I want to say.
No.
Everyone, have a good night. Eric, have a good night.
All right, man.
All right. Well, you all take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, man. Did I end it? Yeah, I ended it.
No.
Oh, no, still recording.
Still recording.